Ryan was taking the Harvard entrance exam when he noticed something odd. His exam was marked version 1. He immediately raised his hand to ask the professor whether there were two separate exams. The professor explained that to prevent cheating, the school had prepared two versions of the exam, which were distributed randomly to each test taker. Ryan felt relieved and got back to work. The others, however, weren't nearly as calm. Well, before the exam began, the wealthy students in the class had struck a deal with Mia. She would pass them the answers in exchange for a generous reward. But Mia had received version A, and the students who ended up with version B were growing increasingly anxious. Left with no other choice, Mia had to work through her own exam first. It didn't take long. Ryan finished the exam. When he stood up to turn in his paper, Mia pretended to stretch, using the moment to slip the answers to the students with version A. They used a piano key tapping technique, where each rhythm stood for a different answer choice. In no time, the version A students finished their exams without a hitch, and stood up together to hand them in. Mia used that window of time to swap her exam with the person next to her. Getting her hands on version B, she dove right back in without daring to stop for even a second. Once she had worked through all the version B questions, she used the same method to pass the answers to the rest of the wealthy students. But when the exam officially ended, she still hadn't finished passing everything along. She ignored the professor's call and kept going. Finally, just as the professor was about to lose his patience, she finished getting the last of the answers out. The wealthy students walked out of the exam room all smiles, and Mia let out a long sigh of relief. Then, out of nowhere, the professor suddenly called